Welcome, Middlers, to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I take you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration. I am a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual and business mentor, and of course, a psychic medium. And I am here to share my story and help you tap into your extraordinary abilities. Join me every Wednesday as we dive into the realms of intuition, energy healing, and all things mystical. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the magical waters, this podcast is your go-to source for inspiration, guidance, and a whole lot of lessons and laughter along the way. Let's get started. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 260. Holy moly, 260 episodes. Thank you for being here. If you've been with me from the beginning, if you're just finding me, if you're a new Middler, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle, and today we are talking about mediumship and why I recommend you wait for a mediumship reading and how long I recommend you wait to get the most bang for your buck and also to make sure that you're getting what you need from the mediumship reading. I will put a giant disclaimer on this episode. This is just my opinion and what I would recommend based on my experience with mediumship readings, with souls. I have talked to other mediums who don't agree with me or who have different thoughts and don't think that there is a timeline. So take this episode with a grain of salt to help you decide what is best for you. You know yourself best, you know what you need best, and you know how you grieve and heal the best. This is just what I would recommend if someone were to ask me. So I have not pulled a card for the podcast in a while. So I went on Instagram and I pulled a card with you guys. My Instagram is at Medium in the Middle, and just a reminder, I only have one account. I pulled a good April Fool's joke on you. At this point, my April Fool's joke is becoming a tradition. I do it every year, and just a little fun. Please note, never ever pay $10,000 for a reading. I thought that was an exaggerated number, and you guys would know I was joking. Follow me over there on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, Medium in the Middle, providing lots of fun and good content about mediumship and Reiki and just funny spiritual stuff. And you guys voted on what card you wanted me to pull. So you chose the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reid. And we pulled card number 1, the Bone Collector. Bone Collector, you are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to believe a certain way in the future when faced with a situation that reminds us of the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable, or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything but you believe you lack, and the Bone Collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. I'm just going to quickly read the reversed. The past has a way of repeating itself when you haven't learned the lesson inherent in the original situation. You're faced with this now. The Bone Collector is here to challenge you to see yourself as a whole being and not one who is perpetually trying to heal an old wound. You'll repeat the past if you don't reclaim the thing you believe was lost. The information you seek lies in your history. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Bone Collector, card number 1. So, today I want to talk about mediumship readings and why I believe you should wait for a mediumship reading and how long I believe you should wait for a mediumship reading. And this comes for many different reasons, but we'll start at the top. So, if you were to ask me, I would recommend that you wait 1 year after your loved one has passed before you do a mediumship reading. Minimum 6 months. Like if you were really, really, really needing some sort of connection, if you were feeling like you were really lost and you just needed to feel their energy again, maybe 6 months. But in the form of timelines, most mediums have a wait list. So when you feel like you're ready for a reading, I would then book a medium. So say you feel ready at 6 months, then you book a medium and you have to wait 3 or 4 months for your session. I think that would be a good amount of time. And I feel that way for many different reasons. Number one, I believe that there has to be grief first, and the grieving process takes time and everyone's different. But when you're going through that process, a mediumship reading might not be helpful yet. So there's still the grief, the sadness, the anger, the overwhelm, the emotions. And sometimes getting a reading right away just adds too much to what you're already experiencing. So I think that has a lot to do with why waiting, you will be able to receive the information a little bit more. I also feel like the soul is getting used to being past. So they are transitioning and they are getting used to being past, and they are going through soul review and all the things that happen when we die. There's lots of different theories on what happens. I do believe that our soul goes into soul review. How long that takes, I have no idea. And time doesn't exist, I'm sure, in the universe. So, does it take a month? Does it take a week? Does it take a second? Who knows? But I think also the soul getting used to being a soul and learning how to communicate. I find that some souls take longer to communicate, some know how to communicate right away. I personally have talked to souls that have passed just a week ago, and that was the quickest that I've ever done, and that was for like one of my best friends. And the third biggest reason why I recommend waiting is because you need spirit to be able to tell you information. So if someone passed, say, a week ago, what are they going to tell you? What do you want them to confirm for you? What do you want them to say to you? So a mediumship reading is really based off of evidence and memories and things that happened before they passed and things that happened after they passed. So if they just passed and you're paying all this money for a mediumship reading, what do you want them to say? At least if you wait a year, they can talk about all the firsts. They can talk about, the first Christmas without them. They can talk about the first birthday without them. They can tell you that they saw you move houses. They can tell you that they see the new baby in your life. They can tell you about the new job that they saw you get. There's things for them to discuss with you where I feel like if they just passed, you won't get a lot of that, and it'll be very fueled by emotion, sadness, grief, anger, any type of emotion. Again, the grieving process is long and hard. So, and everyone grieves differently. So what you need is different. Again, this is just my recommendation. I still remember my first ever group mediumship reading. I had a lady come. So when I was doing my first ever group mediumship reading, I asked some friends to bring people that I didn't know. So I think I had 4 friends, and I asked them to each bring one person with them that I didn't know. So this lady showed up to my house, and this is a whole podcast episode, by the way, if you're interested in it. But anyways, she had lost her husband, and I channeled her husband for her. And afterwards, she was telling me that she actually used mediumship to help her with her grief. And she said that she started seeing mediums 3 months after he passed. And she essentially was seeing a medium every 3 months. And she even said to me, she's like, a lot of mediums won't let you come see them that often. Again, because of evidence, there's only so much we can say. You need time for us to be able to talk about things. So she said she would go to different mediums every few months. And it was her way of grieving because she felt like she could still talk to her husband. And then she said after a year of doing that, she finally felt like she could start letting go. And she finally realized, I shouldn't be talking to him this much. It's not helping me anymore. It was helpful at the start of her grief journey, but it was no longer helpful. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, like how you did that and what you found of that and your experience. So again, everyone is different, and hers experience was very interesting to hear about. Going back to why I recommend you wait, if you are going to a reputable medium, they probably have a few month wait. I know it's kind of cliche, but yeah, if you're good, you have a wait list. You shouldn't be able to get in to see a medium tomorrow. That's red flag number one. Unless they're a new medium and they're developing and they're just practicing, okay, that's fine. But if you're going to go and pay hundreds of dollars for a medium, I would be very wary if you could get an appointment for tomorrow. That's neither here nor there. So anyways, so let's say you're going to see a medium. In a mediumship reading, there are a few things that you want to get. Number one, you need to get evidence of the loved one. What do they look like? Maybe their name. What was their personality like? How did they die? And then they'll share some memories, usually from before they passed. And then they'll show some memories, usually from after they've passed. You know, again, I've seen you move. I've seen you do this. I saw you plant the tree for me. I saw you booked this vacation. Then they'll usually have a message. And the message is usually about something that's going on in your life. But again, if you are deep in grief and you haven't done much in your life after they've passed, there hasn't been any memories for them to share, maybe these helpful messages aren't helpful yet, I would just recommend that if you wanted to get the bang for your buck and the most out of your money and the most successful reading, I would recommend you wait. I think between 6 months and 9 months, maybe book your reading if you're really, really keen. But 1 year is a good kind of milestone, especially if you wanted to do it maybe around their birthday or their death anniversary or a date that's important to you. That will feel special. I do think everyone uses mediumship differently and how everyone grieves is different. So there's not a one size fits all. It's just what do you need in your grieving journey. I will always remember that woman, though, that said that she talked to her husband every 3 months through mediums. And she said it was amazing. She's like, I wasn't ready to let go of him. I wanted to still talk to him regularly. And the readings gave me that comfort. So I always think about her when I say these recommendations, because I was like, for her, like this recommendation wouldn't work. I would definitely consider before you book a mediumship reading, what do you want to get out of it? Are you just looking to see if the spirit's okay? Are you wanting some memories from them? Are you hoping they talk about your new house? Are you just wanting to connect? So I think if you're clear in what you want from a mediumship reading and you set your intentions, that will also help you get what you need from it. But a good rule of thumb, and most mediums will have this rule, they won't let you book an appointment until the soul has been passed for 1 year. And a lot of mediums also highly recommend you only come see them once a year. Again, this is to help you grieve. Another thing I will say is different mediums have different skills. So me, for example, I'm not the best at getting new souls. Sometimes I'm like surprised, like, oh my gosh, they've only been passed for 3 months, or oh, they've only been passed for 6 months. Like they were great at communicating. But sometimes it feels like fuzzy and slow, where I know other mediums, they can get people that died a week ago, 3 days ago, a month ago, and they have no problem with it. So I also feel like it's a varying skill. That one soul that had passed just a week ago, it was for my best friend, and she had a family member pass unexpectedly, and they asked me to tune in with him. And the only thing that I got was that his autopsy was going to come back inconclusive. And they were kind of like sitting on eggshells waiting for the autopsy to come back about what happened. And the only information I got from him was my autopsy isn't going to tell you anything. So I do think that was helpful information because at that time they were like sitting, waiting for the autopsy to try to get some answers. And I just said, he's saying that you're not going to get the answers that you're waiting for. And weeks later, when the autopsy did come in, it was inconclusive. Yeah, that was my experience with it. I usually find if someone just passed, they won't talk too much. It might be like, oh, grandpa's here. He died recently, didn't he? Oh, yeah, 2 months ago. Okay, but your grandma's here too, and she passed, 3 years ago? Okay, she has a lot to say. Da, 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 da. But again, I think that just might be my skill set, my preference, what I like. So again, this is my podcast with my recommendations, and you don't have to listen because you know your body best and what you need and what your grieving process looks like. But at the beginning, I just believe there's so much emotion and there's so much overwhelm and there's just so many moving parts that adding can be life-changing mediumship reading to the mix is just too much, in my opinion. So that is what I recommend if you are looking to book a medium. I think that mediumship readings are a very helpful tool in grief. I think they are a great way to help you feel connected with your loved ones. I think they're a beautiful way to confirm the afterlife and that we don't just disappear when we pass. I think they can be very healing. I think the messages your loved ones can bring in can be very helpful. I find they're beautiful and life-changing and incredibly amazing. So the timing of them is also very important. So just trust your intuition, trust what you feel like you need. Each person will be different and unique on that. I hope that was helpful if you're considering a mediumship reading, just helping you know when is the best time for you to go, when feels right, what you're feeling. My mentorship program is sold out. Thank you so much for all of your interest in that. That was the quickest it has ever sold out before. It will be opening again in July for an August start, and that will be the last time it opens the doors this year. So we'll work together August, September, October, November. The April Reiki trainings, Reiki Level 1, is April 12th and 13th. There is 3 spots left in that course. My next mediumship practice circle is April 19th. Reiki Level 2 is April 26th and 27th. And I'm very excited to announce that the Advanced Reiki course is coming back live on May 3rd. If you are a Reiki practitioner from any Reiki master teacher, any Reiki lineage, I run this course live usually once a year. I want to try to do it twice this year because you guys are always asking for this course to be run live. It's a 4-hour masterclass designed for after your Reiki Level 2 if you're looking to work in Reiki and you want advanced skills. And we really talk about energy and how energy moves a lot. So if you're interested in that, I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I release new episodes every Wednesday. I would love and appreciate a rating and review wherever you are listening. I will leave the links you need to book with me down below. You can work with me in person or virtually. And I do have some appointments still left for April. So if you are looking for some virtual appointments, I have some rare availability coming up pretty soon. So run, grab those sessions. I can't wait to see you. I hope you all have a great week. Happy April. Welcome spring. Here we go. The days are getting longer. The sunshine's getting brighter. Our moods are rising. I will see you all next Wednesday in your ears. Bye.